Over 400 years ago, a large British merchantman was attacked by singing pirates off the remote shores of Bangala. The captain of the trading vessel was a famous seafarer who, in his youth, had served as cabin boy to Christopher Columbus on his first voyage to discover the New World. With the captain was his son Kit, a strong young man who idolized his father and hoped to follow in his footsteps as a seafarer. But the pirate attack was disastrous. In a furious battle, the entire crew of the merchantman was killed and the ship sank in flames. The sole survivor was young Kit, who, as he fell off the burning ship, saw his father killed by a pirate. Kit was washed ashore half dead, and friendly pygmies found him and nursed him to health. Walking on the beach one day, he found a dead pirate dressed in his father's clothes, and realized this was the pirate who had killed his father. Grief-stricken, he waited until vultures had stripped the body clean. Then, on the skull of his father's murderer, he swore an oath by firelight as the friendly pygmies watched.
I swear to devote my life to the destruction of piracy, greed, cruelty, and injustice, and my sons and their sons shall follow me.
This was the oath of the skull that Kit and his descendants would live by. In time, the pygmies led him to their home in the deep woods in the center of the jungle, where he found a large cave with many rocky chambers. The mouth of the cave, a natural formation, shaped by the water and wind of centuries, was curiously like a skull. This became his home, the Skull Cave. He soon adopted a mask and a strange costume. He found that the mystery and fear this inspired helped him in his endless battle against worldwide piracy. For he and his sons who followed became known as the nemesis of pirates everywhere, a mysterious man whose face no one ever saw, whose name no one knew, who worked alone. As the years passed, he fought injustice wherever he found it. The first Phantom and the sons who followed their wives in many places. One married a reigning queen, one a princess, and one a beautiful red-haired barmaid. But queen or commoner, all followed their men back to the deep woods to live the strange but happy life of the wife of the Phantom. And of all the world, only she, wife of the Phantom, and their children could see his face. Generation after generation was born, grew to manhood, and assumed the tasks of their father before him. Each wore the mask and costume. Folk of the jungle and the city and sea began to whisper that there was a man who could not die, a phantom, a ghost who walks. For they thought the Phantom was always the same man. A boy who saw the Phantom would see him again 50 years later, and he seemed the same. And he would tell his son and his grandson, and his son and grandson would see the Phantom 50 years after that, and he would see the same. So the legend grew. The man who cannot die, the ghost who walks, the Phantom. The Phantom did not discourage this belief in his immortality, always working alone against tremendous, sometimes almost impossible odds. He found that the awe and fear the legend inspired were a great help in his endless battle against evil. Only his friends, the pygmies, knew the truth. To compensate for their tiny stature, the pygmies mixed deadly poisons for use on their weapons in hunting or defending themselves, though it was rare that they were forced to defend themselves. Their deadly poisons were known throughout the jungle, and they and their home, the deep woods, were dreaded and avoided. Also, another reason to stay away from the deep woods, it soon became known that this was the home of the Phantom, and none wished to trespass. Through the ages, the Phantoms created several more homes or hideouts in various parts of the world. Near the deep woods was the Isle of Eden, where the Phantom taught all animals to live in peace. In the southwest desert of the New World, the Phantom created an eerie, on a high, sheer method that was thought by the Indians to be haunted by evil spirits and became known as Walker's Table, for the ghost who walks. In Europe, deep in the crumbling cellars of an ancient Castle Brune, the Phantom had another hideout from which to strike against evildoers. But the Skull Cave in the quiet of the deep woods remained the true home of the Phantom. Here, in a rocky chamber, he kept his chronicles, written records of all his adventures. Phantom after Phantom faithfully wrote his experiences in the large folio volumes. Another chamber contained the costumes of all the generations of Phantoms, yet others contained the vast treasures of the Phantom, acquired over centuries, used only in the endless battle against evil. Thus, 20 generations of Phantoms lived, fought and died, usually violently, as they followed their oath. Jungle folk, sea folk, and city folk believed him always to be the same man, the man who cannot die. Only the pygmies knew that. Always, a day would come when the great friend would lie dying. Then, alone, a strong young son would carry his father to the burial crypt of his ancestors, where all Phantoms rested. As the pygmies waited outside, a young man would emerge from the cave, wearing the mask, the costume, and the skull ring of the Phantom. His carefree, happy days as the Phantom's son were over, and the pygmies would chant their age-old chant. The Phantom is dead, long live the Phantom. And thus we come to an exciting day in the life of the 20th generation of Phantoms, the birth of a boy baby. It is this boy baby who will grow up to become the 21st Phantom, the Phantom of our day, whose adventures we know and follow. And the tale we're about to tell is his story, as he grows from the baby boy into the mysterious man who cannot die, the ghost who walks, the Phantom.